Okay, the first question is, under what circumstances do we give public money to private businesses? Under what circumstances does your tax money get transferred to a private business? Okay, because that's kind of the game here, under the guise of economic development. But that's essentially what you're proposing, and this is just one way that we transfer what I would call public assets, in this case your property tax dollars, to a private stakeholder, a business person, a developer, or something of this nature. And is it okay to do that? And if so, under what rubric do you get to weigh in on? How does that happen, if it happens? Number two, who plans what for whom? We're going to do something in order to have community development. So your community is undeveloped. Well, what does that mean? And what do I need to make it developed? And again, that's a giant kind of highway that a lot of trucks drive down. And unless you are in on the conversation, you can get your community developed in a way that you don't like, because someone else answered it for you. And Chicago, of course, is famous for big plans. We're always bragging about the Burnham Plan from 1909. But the mindset that developed the Burnham Plan 100 years ago is not appropriate, in my opinion, for a lot of urban America. But that still drives a lot of planning in the city of Chicago, and it's unquestioned. So I am about asking questions. So who's defining what a developed community looks like, I guess, is what we want to think about. And are we broke? And what about funding essential public services? As I say, the narrative in Chicago is we are so broke. The mayor is asking for another $500 million in property taxes, as well as they're going to slap fees on garbage collection, bowling, Netflix, I don't know what else, So is that okay? And I don't know what the situation here is in Woodstock, but the whole state is hurting, isn't it? Yeah. And we're getting this dialogue from our state leaders that the state is bleeding money, and therefore a certain set of conditions must follow. And I want to push back on that, and you'll see why. So are we broke? Or another way to put it is, what is the true state of our finances? Do we feel that we have a grip on them? Do we have a grip on them? And who's watching our back? I think I'm pretty plain in my analysis of Chicago, where I don't think anyone's watching our back. I mean, that's how I feel as a citizen activist these many years. The No Game Chicago fight was just one of many fights I've had with the mayor. But I always feel, where's all these other groups, like nonprofit groups or, the universities or somebody who should be sort of helping us collectively sort of watch our backs when these crappy projects are proposed, whatever they might be. And therefore, I ask us to think about, where our leaders are going to come from.